Hey, hey. All right, Brandon here from BDJ Illustrated. Working on some more Goblin Seek pages here. This is spread 4. Um, and I am doing some coloring. And this is, what layer are we on here? Should have named them, huh? But I didn't, so. Alright. Looks like we're on the skin layer, though. So, in the video, I will talk more about what I was doing earlier with all the inks and so on. I don't need that there. Oh no. Yeah, okay, there we go. Much better. Alright, so on this page we got Amanita. That's this girl goblin. And we got Goober over here. He's deep in the background, hiding behind another mushroom. And let's color some more of the mushrooms here. I'm not doing this in the, I'm not using the lasso tool and fill technique because I don't like that technique in Clip Studio Paint, which is another program that I use to do digital art, or a program that I used to do digital art previously. I used the paint bucket fill tool a lot more often because I could be on a different layer and it would fill without just filling the entire background, but I don't really know how to do that on Photoshop, so I'm not doing that here. I'm trying to determine what color I want this other mushroom cap to be. Since his hat is blue, his robes are blue, I'm going to try and see if maybe an orange color, like a bright orange. Of course, the color of the cap and his hat aren't going to be. His hat and the cap of the mushroom are not going to be bumping into one another, so it's not necessarily going to create the kind of contrast that I'm looking or hoping for, but that's okay because I can continue to change these colors as time goes on if I want to create more contrast. But I don't want to spend too much time, perfecting something that isn't supposed to. I mean, not like. Well, I'm sure you'll get tired of hearing me say this, but none of this stuff can be perfect because it's just something that's created by a person. So it's always going to have flaws, no matter how close to perfect you want it to be. Now, the colors of the stalks, I'll open one of the recent, I believe page 2 had a mushroom in it. So I'll open up page 2. Yeah, I chose purple for the colors of the stalks. So let's go with that and see how that works out here. And all right, so that blue is kind of. Does that help him stand out a bit? Yeah. Okay. The background, like the sky, will still be white because I'm not coloring the sky so that the black text will stand out. And I think the outline will do a good job of making his left arm there, and his ear, like you see his ear, his arm, his hat on the left hand side all those things will stand out on his left, pardon me, on my right hand side, but his left, stand out from the background well enough so that he's visible. Even though Amanita is having trouble finding him. If it was too easy for her to find him, it wouldn't be very fun to play, would it? Yeah. Hide and seek is supposed to be just a little bit difficult, otherwise. What is the fun? If everything was too easy, what would the fun be? I may add more textural ink work for these mushroom stalks, but you know, I could work on this for the next 10 years if I decided that's what I wanted to do, but I don't want to get bogged down trying to just drag this out forever. Instead, I'd rather move on to the next thing once I finish this, whatever that thing may be. Excuse me. I'm gonna make this a bit smaller so I can start dragging it around like it's a piece of paper on my canvas here, which I like to do. Just makes it easier to color. And makes it easier to draw. Just something to also remember. As I do this digitally, I can turn all this stuff digitally, which is great. It's pretty cool. But when working on just an actual piece of paper or canvas, all you have to do is turn it physically. So, you know, for instance, I can show you here as I spin this, and then when I want it to get back to its original orientation, sometimes it's kind of annoying. But turning a piece of paper, you know, it doesn't take much computing or processing power to spin a piece of paper around on a desk. Of course, if you don't have a desk, you know, then maybe you're working on a table or something that's uncomfortable, and you know, there's a never-ending number of things that we can find to complain about if we want to. But the important thing is setting your goal and then going after it. So that's what we're doing here. Not spending a bunch of time thinking about how we could do it different. You know, we've decided on this, or I've decided on this, and that's where I'm going. Get to the end of the road instead of just being stuck in the mud, spinning our wheels for a million years. No, my wife, I believe, texted me a monitor thing. Awesome. Okay. Be right back. I don't think anyone's going to pop up here, but in case anybody does. To sign in? Interesting. Okay. I guess I can't sign into my own chat unless I do it from the web browser. No one's in there, so yeah, I'll edit this out later, but I gotta do something. See ya. Found the baby monitor. Back to this. Okay. Let's see here. I'll quickly let her know that I discovered it before I get back to coloring. Oh. Alright, what were we doing? Just kidding. Although, what did I do with... Oh. So many things right in front of my face. Okay, so this was still in the mushroom type of mushroom type of environment. So I want to keep the ground the same color that it was in the other. Let me see here, window. Oh, there we go. Okay, sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to navigate some of this stuff. I definitely, if you look on this one, you can see his boot and the color of the ground are way too similar. So I'm gonna have to change that, but still use it to do what I need to do for grabbing the color. And then I'm gonna come back to this canvas, open up a new layer, and then I don't really need this open now. And then I'm just gonna color the ground. Actually, you know what? It's gonna be way faster. Just do it this way. What's gonna happen here is I'm gonna start out coloring this the way that I want to do it, and then end up just doing it the way that everybody who's like a professional does it, because obviously there's a reason that they do it the way they do. I have a real knack for wasting a bunch of time trying to reinvent the wheel. So do remember that there is definitely something to be said for blazing your own trail, but sometimes... Okay, so I need to make this a bit... No. How do I make this full screen view? Fit on screen? That's not really what I was hoping to do there, but I don't know if I need... Okay, well, that made it worse. Okay, well, this will make it easier maybe. So if I just go like this, pull this down just a tad, and then try to grab this, I'll start here, and then go out this way, and then that should hopefully get everything contained within it. And you can see that what's going to happen here, my hope is that I will have selected everything that can be selected all the way down to the border, and then that will have it all, and then I can just fill it with the color that I want to fill it with by doing that. And then I think we're good, and then I'll fix any of the spots that I missed later. But yep, that's all I wanted to do. And then I will change the view back to print size. Then I can move up. So that layer's on the bottom. Let me deselect everything. So even though it looks like, as you can see, it looks like her robes are that color, they're not going to stay that color because I can paint right over it. But if I go back, oh, well, I don't want that to be on that layer. We'll go back here, and then I can paint all the way up because this is on a layer below. As long as I don't get to the skyline, it won't affect the coloring that I did above. And then go to this layer, and then I can erase the, oh my goodness, the little bit of red that's on the dirt there. Not that anyone would even see it or care, but it was there and I saw it, so I fixed it. If you see something, say something. What's better is if you see something, do something, especially if you can. Alright. Let's see here. So layer 4 is skin tones and some robes. Let me open back up that window, this one, so I can grab her robe color. Go back over here and start painting that in. That's on the right layer. Yeah, okay. So I'm not sure about giving her pink robes and pink hair. It seems a little strange. But I know that one of my daughters is going to want pink in this thing. My other daughter is going to want blue. So that might just have to be good enough. A good enough reason. I feel like, you know, what's the worst thing that can happen? Not much. It's not gonna hurt anybody. In fact, it will actually probably please all the people who this is intended to please anyway, so. Just another thing I don't want to overthink if I don't have to. Which is why I'm having this discussion with myself about overthinking it. Excuse me. It's for a good cause, right? For a child's laughter. Okay. And then her hair is like a different, I don't know, like a warmer pink or something. I guess that's what that is. I think I gotta go up to the inks here and get rid of some of the a little bit too much. I cannot tell how that looks from here. Or well, I can't really. That might be alright. I think the inker is a little bit too big, so if I make it smaller, that might do the job. And of course, I could ink. Well, if I do that. So I was thinking about inking the hair with the actual, the pen, like the brush. But the problem then is it's going to start making me want to paint everything instead of drawing and then coloring. So I don't want to do that. Once I start down that road, everything will begin to take longer. So let's not do that. And let's power through here. Okay, she's got that. He's back there. Back on the mushroom layer here. Coloring in some mushroom caps. And alright, what is this layer? I don't know. Alright, so I'm gonna go back to this ink layer and I'm gonna give the rest of these red mushrooms, I think I'm gonna give them some more I'm gonna give them some of these circles just because it'll add a little bit more visual interest, and also because I think it kind of reminds me of the Smurfs. Maybe I have some nostalgia for the stuff I watched as a kid. I think, what was it? There was one time I was trying to do something from my imagination. I was drawing something from my imagination and then realized it was basically some Muppet that I had seen years and years and years before. I can't remember exactly, but it's very, very neat to see how much the things that you watch as a child can impact you later on in adulthood. Especially the positive memories. I mean, we don't need to talk about sad stuff here, but the positive ones, you know. Okay. And 1, 2, and then maybe like a third one, like here. Yeah. Yeah. Robes are looking fine. I mean, I don't know. The pink of her robes look pretty washed out. And what I mean by that is it looks kind of gray for any of you kiddos who might be listening to this. But as you know, it's a slippery slope. So start thinking about it too much, and I can change it later if I really need to. But for now, I'm going to go back to the mushroom layer here and then paint in these circles with white quickly. Not so quickly that I just do it sloppily. I have some standards. What's happening there? It's like the size is increasing way too much from pressure, but that's alright. We can fix it when we need to fix it. That one's already done. That was the only one at first. Okay. And since this is done digitally, this is all easily resized and moved around, and changes can still be made. So if I needed to add something or I wanted to change something, which is stuff that I'll talk about during the later revision process of the book, which isn't going to be too extensive because there's not much to this story, you know. It's just two goblins playing hide and seek, or Goblin Seek. And I don't want to get much more involved in that, or else we'll lose sight of what we were trying to do. Just keep it simple and fun. Oh, these layers are blocking part of that mushroom over there. That's a big gap. Yeah, so I'm going to add another, let me go back up to the ink layer and get back to black, so it's black ink, and then maybe do like one over here, and then one like this, excuse me, and we'll go back here, and paint it white. I don't know that the way that I'm doing it right now with this, painting it this way is faster than using the lasso tool. I can't say that it is or is not. For, like, it's like saying if it was somebody who was doing it who was very skilled with that tool, but I know that it is faster for me to do it this way. That's why I'm doing it this way. Okay, so as I said, I feel like there's a large amount of space over in this area, but that's probably fine, or it is fine for now. It's going to be fine for now. And then I'm wondering if, yeah, I feel like do something with blue in here, some kind of blue, like a very bright blue maybe. And none of these mushrooms are like supposed to be representative of actual mushrooms that you find in the world. Just kind of amalgamations, or a combination of different mushrooms that I've seen in pictures or encountered when I was hiking or something like that. So, and that's totally fine for anyone for you to do that. Like if you've never actually seen a thing or done a thing and you want to write about it, don't be afraid to do that. Don't feel like you have to have experienced a thing personally uh, to have the right to write about it or to draw about it. That's ridiculous. I mean, you have an imagination. You're allowed to make things up. Don't make them up and say they're true. Because that's not cool. But okay, and what was the text for this one? You know what? I'll place the text later. Let's move on to the next one because that's gonna be more fun for everyone. File, save, and then let me shut that one down, and I will shut that one down. Save it. I don't know why, but so we got page 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now we're up to 5 and 6. Is this 5 and 6? No, that's 9 and 10. 7 and 8. Not sure. A lot of the. Here we go. This one might be fun. Oh yeah, we got a dragon in the background here. This one I did extremely loose. And what I mean by that is I just kind of scratched it in here. So this one might take more time than the last one, but that's all right. So I have a dragon flying in the background. This is supposed to be a cave. I need to make sure that there's enough space in this area for the text. Wonder if there's a way. What can we do to make it funny though? Alright, what I'm gonna do is since this was the dummy, what I'm gonna do here is I'm actually gonna come back in with that pencil brush. I'm going to add a new layer and take this one. I'm going to bring the opacity down. I'm going to try and think what might be funny. So we've got that dragon flying there. There's a dragon flying up here, or at least that's what it was. So a dragon flying that way. We'll use his tail to point down here, and then we've got Goober's hiding in here, inside this cave. And Amanita's here. I wonder what we could do. And there is a lot to be said for not trying to do too much in one day, but sometimes you gotta strike while the iron is hot. Or you just have to do as much as you can while you have the opportunity, because you don't know when you're going to get your next one. And that's when it comes to doing stuff like this, that's sort of where I'm at right now. So let's see. It's hiding in a cave. Alright, so let's start like this. Let's make this a mountain. Alright, so this is a mountain, you know, and it's a cave entrance to a mountain, or in the side of a mountain, I guess. It's a better way to phrase it. Alright, so and we'll make it kind of, I mean, like I said, or as I have said in the past, I don't want this to be a scary book at all. Like, these are just supposed to be happy, kind of silly goblins, but still, I think you can have some sharp edges like this where it sort of looks like teeth or something. I mean, I don't want to do anything terrifying, but to make it seem like it's a cave, I may need to look at some more references. I've not drawn very many caves before. Okay. But I still want Goober to be inside the cave. And maybe... Alright, that dragon's over there. Amanita... I wonder what she could be doing. She could be, like, looking... Let's see. How could we have her standing? She's kind of like... I don't know, like, coming over this thing here. Or she's got one hand on this thing here. But she's, like... Her hat's like this, because she's still sort of looking up at that dragon that's flying over there. Alright, so that's, you know, her nose. It's like over here, and her ears. I don't know. I'll have to shape that up in a minute. Yeah, so she's gonna climb over this. I don't know. We'll figure that out in a minute. She sees that dragon over there, and we'll say that, you know, Goober thinks he's hiding nice and safe in this dragon cave because there's a dragon that's flying away, right? So he's... Let's just have him kind of like... He's giggling or whatever. He's also, you know, hand on a rock. I mean, the main reason that I keep doing this kind of hand on a rock and having these things overlap is just to kind of show that he's hiding, and then another reason is to help develop the physical space some. It's kind of peeking around, you know? And she's climbing over something, so it just makes sense for her to have a hand on there. And she's, you know, this shows what her, like her hand on this rock here shows where her movement is headed, and it shows what she is looking at, right? And then let's just say inside this cave, Goober Goblin's kind of, you know, he's giggling. I'll figure that out in a bit. Yeah, I'm not sure how many rocks or whatever I want to do over here. I may look at, like I said, may look at a cave reference to get some more ideas for that, which I, early on when I started drawing, I didn't even know what that meant, looking at a reference, so that might be something that I should talk about. I could talk a little bit about how I figured out these different things and where resources that I use to learn more, because it would have been nice to have a guide, some kind of guided tour earlier. So that's something that I may do when I have more time. All right. Excuse me. So he's here, and with that cave up there, I may, let's see, I'm trying to think of what to do. So what I'm probably going to end up doing is pushing this all down so that I have enough room for the text up here. The text may cut across the, or no, the text will probably, yeah, so the text is, yep, I think that's fine. So probably on this one, the text will be down here. I just won't color in the ground the same as I did on the mushroom ones. Yeah. Okay. Just trying to think of what kind of face would be a non-scary face for the dragon. Something silly. Alright, so it's gonna be... Oh. I mean, I feel like this has been done a million times, but it's probably gonna make my kids laugh. So it's gonna be hard. It's hard for me to resist this. Instead of him being here with the rocks, I mean, if anyone hasn't already figured it out, what I'm coming around to, he'll just have he'll be inside of a dragon's mouth. That's just, man, it's too easy, but it's kind of Looney Tunes, but I grew up on that stuff, so his hand, he'll be in here, you know, thinking this is a rock, and then another tooth here, But the only problem with that, or well, one of the problems with that is that you can't really see the dragon's face and see what the dragon is thinking. And I don't want this to be scary. So let's see. I don't know if this particular page is big enough for me to accomplish this. But I am, as I'm working through this, and as you are seeing me work through this, hopefully you're understanding my thought process a little bit more with regard to how I'm trying to build this page. So I want there to be something interesting to look at. I want the things that are interesting to look at to make sense within the book that I'm constructing, but I also want them to make sense for the audience that the book is aimed at, which is 2 little girls, first and foremost, whose sense of humor that I know, and I don't think that they're going to be scared of the dragon, because I'm not trying to draw Smog from Lord of the Rings or something that is intentionally made to be intimidating. But without being able to show the dragon's face, or without showing the dragon's face, I'm not sure if I'll be able to indicate the sort of level of silliness that I want to. So what I'm going to try to do here is make the dragon's mouth look similar to the mountain, and then kind of have his maybe do something with his eyes if I can. Yeah, so this would be, yeah. So right here's his muzzle, and then these are his nostrils, right here and right here. And then that's the inside of the mouth, as he's kind of like inside the cave. And then I will see what I can do about figuring out a way to make his eyes look like they're kind of confused, maybe. Can like give him a couple horns or something. Not that important right now. Mostly, I'm not concerned with perfecting the dragon at this stage. And so these top teeth, or fangs, or whatever you want to call them, they're going to be a little bit in front of the... Oh, did they go in front of the bottom teeth? I can't remember. But this one, you know, Goober thinks it's a stalactite, which is the... those are the rocks that hang from the top of the cave, because they're tight. And stalagmites are the ones on the cave floor, for anyone who is interested in understanding that stuff. I'm not a spelunker, which is a person who explores caves, but I did learn about that stuff when I was younger, for some reason. Alright, so... yeah, I mean... there's a way to make his... there's probably a... I can probably make his brow shift in some sort of a way, the dragon's brow. I can probably make it shift in some sort of a way that makes it look like he's... looks confused or something. And then maybe even have his... the dragon's tongue kind of like... it's not really like wrapped around him, but we'll have it, I don't know why. For some reason I want the tongue to be forked. And I'll try to do something with it, but you can use the fork of the... I can use the fork of the tongue to kind of draw interest with the composition here. Okay. And then I'll have to figure out what else I need to like show. But as you can see, what I'm doing here is drawing through my shapes, which is something that you should definitely start doing from the very beginning, rather than trying to, you know, like, so you draw a circle, and then you want to put a, I don't know, you want to put what, like a fence. Let's say you wanted a fence behind this circle. So instead of doing this and then guessing over here where the thing is and then trying to do this, which can work out okay, the idea, and then like where's the, you want the, well, let's say these are a little higher, right? So you got these posts that come like this, you want another post right here, and then you could do it like this, where, see, this circle here has, it's in front of the fence, so you can't really see that post or these parts, but it's so much easier to keep the lines straight if you draw through, and then that way whenever you go to the inking part, you know that it all lines up. You know that this part of the fence actually is like connected. It's not in some weird angle. It's easier to get away with it when you're doing something like a fence, because or a fence that's made of natural wood, because there's so much variation in the wood, and so it can be, you know, imperfect. But there are instances where it becomes super problematic. So draw through your shapes. All right. And also, you know, I probably don't need that on my canvas here. Although I'm probably approaching the limit of my undos. Excuse me. Okay, sorry for all the throat clearing there. Let's see. So we've got all that pencil work done. That's looking better. I'll make sure that Goober is kind of like, he's leaning, yeah, he'll be leaning up against this tooth. And like have a hand kind of even smushed into the tongue, I think will be good. Not realizing it's a tongue, of course. And then I'll just make sure that that's all kind of like blacked in, blacked out. And then the cave will be dark back here. And then there's yeah, so the rest of the cave will be like on this side, and the mountain continues over here. This is nothing, and then we'll have that dark too. All right, and then we have a second dragon, or what? I mean, it doesn't matter if it's the first or the second one. This one's just flying over here, so it's got its wings and it's flying up in the sky, all soaring around, dragoning and doing all the dragon stuff that dragons do up in the sky on a Tuesday. So today is Tuesday, right? Well, it's Tuesday as this happens. I don't know what day it is as anyone happens to witness it. And then that tail will kind of move like that and then point a little bit at Amanita. And then I'll have her, she's got that hand there. And then have to, not really sure, climb in, like how that would affect the shape of the hand, but I'll easily be able to work that out with a little bit of effort. She's looking up there at that dragon, kind of. This eye, or have her eyes be like wide open. Just looking up. Yeah, I can't really picture the head at that angle. I mean, what? Sorry, I'm looking at a mannequin here. Shoulder is gonna be like this. Okay, so we've got the hand, there's the shoulder. She can have one foot up on this, maybe. Yeah, so she's gonna pull herself up, but that means she's got one knee like this too. I don't know if her head could possibly be at that angle, but maybe she could, yeah. If I could have her, maybe I'll just have her kind of like pointing up there. And that would mean the thumbs on the other side. Woo! Let's see. No. Pointing back that way, so the thumb's in front. Yeah. Okay, so the thumb would be there. It's pointing up at the dragon. Maybe like that. No, for sure, but it's not. Yeah, it's gonna be fine for now, so I can get an idea. What I'm not sure is on that profile view of her head, if I'm gonna be able to see her eyes if she's at that angle. Or if the way that I have it right now, if I can. Okay. So, let's see here. I'm going to make a new layer, and then I'm going to use this circle, and then go like this. No, sorry. Yeah, so like this, and then maybe where are the eyes? Like, it's not like that. It's at an up angle, like this ish, and then the nose is like this. But I wonder if I should, instead of doing that, having her pointing at the dragon. No, yeah, there's no reason for her to be looking up at the dragon, to be honest, because she's not looking for a dragon. She's not pointing at a dragon because she's playing hide and seek, and she's not. Yeah. All right. So instead of doing that. I mean, I think it's a worthwhile exercise to try to, what I need to do is just practice drawing more characters in profile, or faces in profile, and that'll help me to construct these ones from imagination, but for the time being, she's looking for Goober anyway. So it would make more sense if she was looking at him. And I don't know if I want her... I mean, he's kind of peeking around this tooth over here, so I don't want her peeking around something too, do I? She could be... Maybe she sees the... Maybe she does... Maybe she sees the big dragon right here. Maybe that's what it is. So she's gonna... Yeah, okay. That's way better. And then her eyes, she can have, like... She could be really surprised because she sees the dragon. Do some squash and stretch stuff here. Maybe her hat even falls off, huh? Why not? Alright, deal with that in a bit here. And then that would mean her hair would be totally visible. I have to decide how I want that to... I don't know if I want the hair to be like standing up, like she's been electrocuted or not. But I'll decide that in a bit here. So she's got that going on. She's kind of... Might be too big for it to be... It's like so big that they almost broke, which is, that's like the limit, right? You can push things until they look like they're broken. It still has to look like Amanita, even if I'm pushing the limits. But I think we're on the right track now, at least. So she sees the dragon. Yeah, but those eyes are too big. Okay. You don't want it to be broke. But she's still... No, those are too small. Maybe that's about right, size-wise. And then you have those eyelashes and her eyebrows are uppish somehow. Okay. And then her nose is like this. Mouth is huge. Alright, let's just erase all that. We'll start from scratch. Okay, so her head is about this size, because it was giant in that last one. Just not correct. And then her eyes, she's looking at the dragon. Just like this. Out like that. Start getting her some hair here, just to get it placed. Hat's giant. Let's make the hat smaller. Yeah, I don't know if I want the hat. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna have the hat. No, it's not gonna fall off because she's just spotted it. I mean, you know, like if this was acting, like if this was a cartoon and I was animating it, then it would make more sense for the hat to fall off because it would give us something more stuff going on visually. I feel like right here, we've got what we need. 3, 1, 2, 3. finger, 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 and thumb, thumb. Alright, so I think that's better. Looks like... Okay, so she sees the big dragon. She's surprised. He has no idea he's inside of a dragon's mouth. He thinks he's inside of a cave. The other dragon's flying away. So it sort of, I don't know, implies that maybe he thought he was hiding in an empty cave. If I can figure out a way to do something to shift the dragon's brow to make it look like he's actually, you know, like his eyebrow is lifting. Like that. Then I think that will give it a little bit more of a comic feel, or comedic feel, maybe. Not sure. Yeah. So the next step with this one, we'll be inking it up and then coloring it and moving right along. We got, this is 5 and 6, and then 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, and then possibly doing a new cover. But everything seems to be, or everything is moving along great. I'll keep at this, and eventually I'll be able to do the intro video and start working on putting together the series of videos that talks about this process in a much more condensed and structured way, so that people with limited time can get some guidance and have some ideas for how to do this on their own, whether or not you want to do it digitally. And then in the future, I'll do it in a way that is not digital, I guess. You know, I have other stuff, other ways to do it, and yeah. And I don't just like doing things digitally. I like doing things other ways too. So it'll be fun for me. All right, well, that's it for today. I will continue working on this stuff, and I hope everyone is having a great week, and